On this episode of Exactly How, we're going to show you how to get out of your own way, how to have clarity around your goals, and how to shorten the time it takes you to become very successful on this episode of Exactly How.
You're listening to the Exactly How podcast, where you'll hear the underground, closely guarded wealth-building secrets of successful people around the globe. Discover exactly how to improve your mental, physical, and financial health. Feel better, make more money, live, give, and prosper in today's exciting, fast-paced world filled with opportunity for those who know exactly how.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Connected Investors podcast and YouTube show, Exactly How. During this episode, you're going to discover exactly how to market yourself so you can grow your business. This is key to success. For those of you who are new, my name is Ross Hamilton, today's host and CEO of ConnectedInvestors.com. Today, we have the privilege to learn from a woman who has been a very successful real estate investor, built a $20 million portfolio in a handful of years, and is also like a visionary who feels very fulfilled by servicing others, which is why she's spending time with us here today. Prior to her career as a real estate investor, she was the vice president of operations at Quiznos in Canada. All that changed when she did some charity work, got clear on her core desires, created a whole vision board, saw an amazing Carlton Sheets commercial, and just kind of went all in as a real estate investor and had become so much more even after that. I would describe our guest as someone who is extremely focused and determined. And you're going to hear that come out throughout this presentation. Her name is Heather Blaze, and today she's going to explain exactly how to market yourself to grow your business. Heather, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Before we jump in and train people on exactly how to market themselves in their business, you contribute a lot of your success to really focusing your thoughts on what you have rather than what you don't have. Can you explain why this has played such an important role in your success?
Sure. Basically, what I've learned is that you always get more of what you focus on. So if you're focused on what you don't want, you get more of that. If you're focused on what you want, you get more of that. It just, it goes in that direction. It makes sense, whether it's positive or negative. That's how it works. It's like the law of attraction, the law of the universe, whatever you want to call it. That's what happens. I remember going to Australia, and I wanted to write out my 15-year goals. And what happened was I was with my now ex-husband at the time, and he fought me tooth and nail on doing that. But I insisted. We went to the beach, to Bondi Beach. We wrote out our 15-year goals, and we actually achieved every single one in 9 years. So
great job.
That's what we were focused on. You once you visualize it, you're clear on what you want. That's what happens. It's like saying, I'm going to go on vacation someday versus I'm going to go to Hawaii in December. When you're that clear on what you want, things start popping up, right? You're clear. I want to go to Hawaii. So you start looking at how am I going to get there? Am I going to go on a cruise? Am I going to go on a plane? How am I going to get there? If you're just saying I'm going to go on vacation one day, someday, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's really important to kind of reiterate that what you said there, what you focus on, you manifest, you create more of, and it's so true, and it's so simple but so powerful, and
it's simple but it's not easy, because what happens is our society, everybody that surrounds us, we get kind of sucked into whatever's happening. We're big on complaining. The news is all about negativity. That's what sells. Everybody's so focused on that. Yeah. So if you can really take the time to and notice it when it pops up and just shift that focus, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. A few other really, really cool takeaways here are, it's a lot of people do affirmations, right? They'll say, oh, I am happy. I am successful. I am this, I am that. But a way to kind of shift that is to ask yourself the question, why am I so happy? Why am I successful? When you start to ask those questions, your mind starts to look for the answers for it, and you start kind of filling in the blanks. It was just a huge aha moment I had in self-affirmations and the strategy behind doing those. So yeah, thanks for Thanks for sharing sharing that with us. So for everyone who's new, what makes the Exactly How Financial Freedom podcast unique is every show comes with detailed action plans. We're going to pull some great information out of Heather's head here, write it all down so you don't have to worry about taking notes while you're driving. If you're listening to this on a podcast or on YouTube, we have you covered at exactlyhow.com. Also, every episode we give away our flagship $3,000 software that allows you to find properties that are not available to the general public that could be purchased at deep, deep discounts. All you have to do is visit exactlyhow.com, throw your name into the hat, and we're actually going to announce a winner on this show. So if you're watching this live or during our YouTube premiere, go to exactlyhow.com, throw your name into the hat. You might be the lucky winner. So, Heather, as we jump into this, we're going to talk a little bit about marketing yourself so you can kind of grow your business. Can you just so we're all on the same page, what does it really mean to market yourself? It sounds obvious, but how do you define that?
So back to the mindset again. So I don't want to completely talk about mindset during this whole thing, but it's so critical when you don't have the right mindset. It doesn't matter what kind of marketing you do, it's not going to work. So you first off have to get into this entrepreneur, investor mindset. You have to own it. If you're feeling like an imposter as an investor, you're feeling like it's not you, into your core, into your being, then it's not going to work. Because when we grow up, we're programmed to be employees. Our school system is designed that way. Our parents, our television shows, everything teaches you to be an employee. So when I work with my clients, I shift them out of that employee mindset. That's the first thing we do, into an empire mentality, into an entrepreneur mindset, so that all their limiting beliefs are removed. So then they can become unstoppable to achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. And then we get into the clarity work. And it's so important to get clear on your messaging. Any marketer has to be clear in their communication. So if you're not clear about who your ideal target would be, to buy your house or to buy whatever you're promoting, and not know them better than they know themselves, it's really difficult to market something and sell it. So you always want to be starting with that end in mind, and in your communication, you need to be so clear. And so again, I walk my clients through all these different exercises in order to get super clear so that their marketing can be uber effective.
Yeah, and I know you have an awesome free gift we're going to talk about as well that might really dive deep into some of what we're talking about here. And we touched briefly on mindset, and I read this quote the other day. How you fill in the blank after the word "I am" kind of determines everything. I am. You get to decide what that is, but ask yourself, I am what? Like, what blank did you just fill in there? And that's a cool starting point. It's a good question to ask yourself throughout the day when you get up, just to kind of do a quick check. Where am I? And we have some awesome people that work for us here at Connected Investors. Some interns, some people that are great at art and video, and this one girl that works for us. She wants to be a rock star, right? She does a lot of our video stuff. And she kept saying, I'm going to be. And through just being around the mentors around Connected Investors, now she says, I am. And now she's got music videos out. She's doing all these things. She's like, I don't have to wait to be that thing. I am that thing.
That totally goes back to that imposter syndrome thing that some people feel like, you have to feel that, if I'm an Olympic athlete, I'm going to start doing things that Olympic athletes do.
Yeah.
I also like to come from, when it comes to marketing, the standpoint of I help blank. Like, who are you serving? Because if you're just in it for the money and stuff like that, that's going to come across. But if you're in it to actually serve people, what are you providing for them? And you're providing that value, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the housing or whatever you do as an investor, having that coming from that place of service really helps too.
Yeah. So even if you are, brand new, you say, I am a real estate investor, right? If that's why you're here, we touch on a lot of different topics, but just starting to really believe that is important. And the reason that I wanted to bring Heather on this call is because her and her clients have had so much success with figuring out how to market yourself. As a real estate investor, you're constantly marketing yourself when you're talking to other real estate investors, when you're using Connected Investors, when you're in the forums, you are constantly marketing yourself. People have to know, like, and trust you. So that's why this is a very important episode. And Heather, with her background, building a $20 million portfolio overnight, essentially, she has a lot of great insights for you. So before we started the call here, Heather and I broke down this episode. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about your value bundle, how you bundle the value that you bring to the table, even if you're brand new and you don't think you have any value. How to make sure you don't trade your sanity throughout this whole process. How to create really good, engaging kind of free offers to kind of bring people into you one way or another. And then also just kind of talking through mentors and people to look up to so you don't have to figure everything out yourself. So Heather, let's just, we've been talking about the mindset a little bit here. So we've kind of went over step one a little bit, but do you want to just touch on why mindset is so critical here?
Yeah, well, like I said, I think we've covered exactly why is that if you aren't in the right mindset, if you have any lack or scarcity type of mindset, that can really limit you. And we have a lot of pre-programmed beliefs in us. So those have to shift if you're going to be successful in any marketing that you've got going on. And then we touched on clarity and then value. You know, let's dive right into value.
Yeah, so talk about the value bundle.
Yeah, everybody has a ton of value to offer, and a lot of people don't even realize what it is. And another thing I teach my clients is how to stand out against the competition. So I know there's a ton of competition, you know, with real estate investors, and what we do is we dive deep into what the unique value is that you or that each of my clients has to offer, because everybody's different, but everybody has a ton of value to offer, but a lot of people just don't know what it is. And so we've got techniques to just pull that out of them, so then they can get clear on that as well, and then tie it all together with how they communicate what they're marketing, basically.
Yeah. So just, unfortunately, we can't sit down with you here for a first seminar. Maybe your free gift. We'll talk about that during the free gift part of this breakdown. Yeah. But when you've sat down with some of your clients, what are some of the aha moments of value that you've seen people have that have really woken people up?
There's so many. I mean, again, it kind of goes back to those limiting beliefs. I was just on a call the other day with one of my clients, and she just, I don't know. We didn't get to the root of why she doesn't believe in herself, but we got all of these limiting beliefs shifted. So then she could really, truly feel the value. Like she just started with, she didn't feel like she was good enough was really the root of it all. But there were so many different aspects that were limiting her from reaching her true potential. So I don't know if that answers your question, but it totally does. I mean, the people feeling like they don't stack up, they don't have what it takes. I mean, if you're going into battle thinking that, hey, I'm not as good as the other guy I'm about to fight, you're probably going to lose, even if you could have won. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. And there's been just so many different things that I pulled out of people. Like they weren't feeling like they were creative enough, or they were feeling like the imposter syndrome again. Like a lot of us have that syndrome. They're like, who am I? Who am I to do that? Or, who am I to say this? And we just break through those barriers and move them past and dig deep and get all the value up so that they can package themselves or communicate themselves in a way that really stands out against the other people out there.
Yeah. It also sounds like it'd come from a place of like authenticity.
Totally.
To where they can just be themselves. Because that's really, you can't be someone else. You can't look how someone else is operating their business and say, I want to be like that. You can draw inspiration from it, but you have your own unique selling proposition inside you, and just really understanding what that is.
Yes.
And I think the biggest, you mentioned being an imposter. Like, I feel like that's when you try to be someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you're like being a poser, right? I grew up in the whole, BMX and surfing world. And it's like, oh, you poser, what are you doing? Wearing a surf shirt.
Copying somebody else. And again, back to that client the other day, she's looking at her competitors and she's just like, I'm not good. And then I'm not that good, and I'm not as good as them. And why didn't I think of that? And you just can't do that. You've got to really tap into your authenticity, like you say, and then mold, what's your why, and remind yourself of that why every day. And that really propels you forward. So yeah, being clear, reminding yourself of that why, tapping into your true authenticity, and that just, comes across, it resonates, from your core out to people.
Yeah. Let's talk about making sure not to trade your sanity in this world. Can you kind of dive into what you mean by that?
Yeah. So I'm a huge component of time leverage. So I'm a single mom. I have the ability, I've structured my business around having the ability to meditate every day. I live in Canada, but I travel to warm places 3 to 5 months out of the year with my son.
You're in California now, right?
I'm in California now. I live in Vancouver. Usually in the winter, I'm in Florida and San Diego and Hawaii. And as a single mom, how many single moms do you know that do that, right? Like I've created a way, and this is what I teach my clients too, is how to leverage your time for leverage your time and money for freedom, basically, is what it equates to. And that's all we're really after. We want the freedom to be able to do what we truly love to do as much as possible, because life is short, right?
Yeah.
So being able to set things up in a systemized, strategic, effective, efficient way so that you can maximize your time and still have the amount of money to have an impact on people and to have that ultimate freedom to do what you absolutely love to do is key. And I've actually, I've been so fortunate to have figured it out and am able to teach that to other people, which brings me joy.
And real estate is really a stepping stone into anything else you want to do in life. I started in real estate, made a lot of money, traveled around the world, took some more of the money I made in real estate, started a technology company. So it's, real estate is a great stepping stone, and one of those traits that once you learn, you can always go back to, and you're good to go. You're never going to be poor again once you really learn how to systemize and scale your real estate investing business.
Yeah.
So in marketing yourself, you also mentioned, we talked about mindset and understanding your value, making sure that you're properly leveraging your time. Let's talk about these free offers. We'll talk about the free gift that you're giving everyone, but why when you're teaching people how to market themselves and their business, talk a little about these free offers and how they play a role.
So if you're needing leads, if you, I don't know if, maybe there's some investors out there that need leads, but there's this law of reciprocity. I don't know if you remember, what was it? The Hare Krishnas giving flowers in the airport, and that was all about the law of reciprocity. So if you're giving something, the more you give, the more you get, right? So if you have something that you can give of value, and if you can automate it, so that goes back to the time leverage thing.
Yeah.
It invites people into, connecting with you. And if you can set it up in such a way, like I said, whether it's automated, it positions yourself as the go-to expert against the competition, and it adds unique value. It's huge. It's a really great tool to use in any marketing strategy.
Yeah, no, it's, if you're part of connectedinvestors.com, you went to connectedinvestors.com, you signed up, it was free. We give you access to this whole world. Maybe you found our funding to where you're able to tap a few buttons and get matched with a private or a hard money lender for free. That's at privatelenders.com. We always try to provide value first in anything that we do. So as you're thinking about the people that you want to attract, what type of value can you provide? Just to give some specific examples, when I used to market to people that were in foreclosure, I'd send them a whole document on all the options when in foreclosure. Here are all of the resources. Here are the phone numbers you need. I did all the research for you. Here you go. If you need any help or have any questions, reach out. And we'd help kind of guide them through that. So when I would meet other real estate investors, having a good something free to give them. Oh, what's your email address? I'll send you over whatever I might have been able to have, whatever I had of value could really help just move that relationship forward.
Totally. Yep. That's exactly it. That's the whole strategy. Like, you're starting with the end in mind, which is helping people. And then you're giving them something of value that, can bring them in, which allows you to connect with them. And yeah, in the free gift that I'm going to be giving, I dive deep into that and how you can create something of value. If anybody out there is wondering how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the free gift can be found at exactlyhow.com. And you can also, actually, I think I forgot to mention the winner of the software. We'll go ahead and get to that in a second. But you can visit exactlyhow.com for more information on Heather and get her free gift as well. This actually reminded me of a little sidewalk scam. My wife and I we were in Europe somewhere. I think Italy. We were walking over this gorgeous bridge and walking by this really old lady. She was walking kind of hunchbacked, and she stopped us and pointed down at the ground, and there was a ring there.
A ring. I had that one done to me too.
You had that done to you?
Yeah, in Paris.
In Paris. Maybe it was Paris. Probably the same lady. That's insane. And we found it, and I gave it to her. I'm like, and she's like, no, I have no use for it. And she gave me the ring. And I said, oh, thank you. And we walked away, and she said, excuse me. Do you have a few dollars? And I'm like, wow. I just knew, because here I am. I think I just got this 14 karat gold ring she pointed out. So what's $20, right? She buys those things for 4 cents a pop. So this power can be used for good or evil.
Yes, it can. Yeah. The law of reciprocity. Totally.
Exactly. I can't believe it to you as well.
Yeah. The exact same thing. Yeah. So, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about too is finding a mentor, because that, again, it's like it leverages your time. And if you're trying to figure all this stuff out by yourself, it's been done over and over and over again. I wrote a book about it, how I created a $20 million portfolio in 5.5 years.
What's the title of the book for everyone? We'll make sure to have it on the site, but go ahead and let me know.
It's called Womanopoly.com.
I love it.
Yeah. And it gives you all the steps, and you can just fill in the blanks and to put your own plan together, and as a real estate investor. And it's just you don't have to figure it all out yourself. Find the best mentor out there. And, it sounds like you guys are really helping a lot of people and saving people a lot of time with what you're doing. And yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, we don't sell mentorship or coaching here at Connected Investors, but we have a fantastic podcast that we did on how to find the right mentor. It teaches you how to evaluate coaches and goes through the different types of mentors, from your traditional coach style mentor to a sponsorship type mentorship to investors in your company, and all different types of mentors. You should definitely check out our YouTube channel on how to find a mentor, because nothing will shorten your success. Your road to success, like a mentor, someone who can, someone who can really
why take 3 to 5 years to figure it out when you can, follow someone else that's already done it and do the exact same thing in record time.
Well, I said I'd mention it, so I got to mention the winner of the PreMLS software. Typically sells for $3,000. This is every type of motivated seller lead you can ever want: probate, pre-foreclosure, vacant houses, shadow inventory, zombie properties. You can see all the details. You can see the owner's contact info, so you can call them up, drop direct mail to them if you want. You can also see every flip that's happening in your town, so you can see who the most active individuals are, great potential mentors. And the winner of today's software is Chris Labsta. Chris, thank you so very much for being a listener of Exactly How. You went to exactlyhow.com, you threw your name in, and now we'll be reaching out to you, getting you all set up. So congratulations to you, Chris. I'm excited for you. All right. Really important question here. Heather, what do you think your life would be like if you never watched that infomercial late that night and decided to get into real estate?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I was just super happy that I did that, and I took that risk. It was a risk. I didn't have any money at the time. I just put it on my credit card. I was in debt, and it totally changed my life. It just put me on that path. Yeah, I have no idea what the other path would have looked like. But
well, I don't know if you'd be traveling around the world. and teaching other people how to do what's come, what seems like it's come so natural for you, probably because of your mindset, kind of getting involved in all of this. You know, approaching any business venture with the right mindset's going to make it fun all the way through.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything you want to add before we get into the rapid fire section of the podcast?
Rapid fire. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think, just stay focused. Stay focused on what you want. That's the key. And just keep your vibration high. Do things that make you feel good so you can stay focused on what you want. Do that every day and be really clear. Be really clear on what your goals are. Write it down. Look at it every day and you'll get there.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice. And I was on it. Someone was interviewing me for a podcast the other day and they said, "Hey Ross, what stops people from being successful?" And my short answer was, they don't know what the heck they want to do.
Yeah.
They keep dabbling. They try this a little bit. They try that a little bit, and they just can't make that solid commitment to kind of go all in and, you know, break over that first barrier that no matter what you're doing is going to happen. But the good thing about real estate is so proven. It has so many advantages all around the board that if you found real estate, if you're interested in investing in real estate, I think you're playing the odds. You know, the odds are in your favor very heavily. And then you take that money in real estate and you do whatever the heck it is that you want to do. You take care of the people that you want to take care of. You teach other people how to change their lives, which is why, you know, Heather and I are here, because our lives are completely changed and we just want to impact as many people's lives as we can. So we spend the time with individuals we don't even know, just to hopefully we're their Carlton Sheets. They talk about this podcast they were on with Ross and Heather. Say, my mindset's been in the way. When I answered the question, I answered, I am angry. Well, nothing good's going to happen if you're angry. You got to shake it off a little bit, you know, breathe.
Oh, I saw this great YouTube video the other day, and it was this lady that she wiggled her way through cancer, because you can't be in a bad mood when you wiggle. Have you ever tried to wiggle and be in a bad mood? It's hard, you know, because you feel so silly, you start laughing. So yeah, if you're angry, just give it a little wiggle.
Yeah. That's going to be the quote that we use for your entire episode.
No.
give it a little wiggle. No, that's, you know, it's funny, but it's also really true, but it's also really hard to do.
It is.
Because when you get angry, if you absorb that anger and you let that anger be you, then you won't let yourself be happy because you want to be mad. So try to look at your emotions, you know, from a different perspective and just kind of laugh at them a little bit.
Yeah. And it only takes 17 seconds to shift it to the other, on what you focus on. Focus on something good for 17 seconds. That's all it takes to keep propelling you forward in that direction. And also I wanted to mention that I have clarity workshops twice a year. If anybody's feeling kind of stuck or unclear about what direction they want to take, or in their real estate, you know, investment, you know, journey.
We'll make sure to have access to all that on your Exactly How page, because you provided a lot of value here. And, you know, one more little hack that actually works. Midday, if you're ever feeling bad, watching like a funny cat video.
Yeah.
Or funny animal videos. If you're mad, just throw one of those on, and I promise you'll be on the other side of it before you can you know, remember what you were mad about, because it's probably not that important.
Yeah, totally.
All right, rapid fire. Okay. On a scale, and just the first thing that comes to your mind, of 1 to 10, how strict were your parents?
8.
8. Someone answered 10.5 on the last podcast.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe 10. I moved out when I was 17 because I felt like.
Are you the type of person that gets up early or stays up late?
Gets up early.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
On average, 7.5.
Favorite or most recent book that you read?
Ask and It Is Given.
Say that again. Ask
and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks.
We'll make sure to have that on the on your page as well. If you can be any superhero, who would it be?
Wonder Woman.
All right. Something everyone should do less of.
Complain.
Something everyone should do more of.
Laugh.
Okay. And in your lifetime, will you watch people step on Mars? Will people visit Mars in your lifetime?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
All right. Thanks so much. It's funny. The superhero question I asked a gentleman a few days ago, and his answer was Warren Buffett.
All right.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, thanks so much for spending the time with us here, both our guest, Heather Blaze, and also everyone that's on the line. And if you're still listening, congratulations. You made it to the end of the podcast, to the end of the YouTube show, which means you start what you finish.
Yay.
You already have a very uncommon success trait baked right into you. So you obviously found a lot of value listening to what Heather and I have been talking about. So please give us a thumbs up, like it, share it, tag someone. If you could definitely just comment in some way, shape, or form, just thanks, hi, whatever. Your engagement really fuels us. We spend a lot of time, energy, and effort bringing you the best people around the globe to help you figure out exactly how to break through. So thanks again for being here, and I'll talk to you in the next episode of Exactly How.
The Connected Investors app connects you with investors, notifies you of available properties, helps locate cash buyers, and secure private funding to close deals. Set up in seconds to become a member of the Connected Investors social network. Now you can scroll through your main feed to find cash buyers, see investment properties not available to the general public, and network with investors by adding your own comments to a thread to keep the conversation going. The Control Center is your connection to add properties to sell, start new discussions, connect with local investors, and even find private funding. The Notifications tab will keep you alerted to new investment properties and offers. You'll also find new friend requests to connect directly with the community to build your network. From the property marketplace, you'll be able to find, favorite, and make offers on investment properties. Download Connected Investors today to find, figure, fund, and flip investment properties on the go.